Ashley Parker, you have been so patient. We thank you. And now for something completely different from anti-AI socialists, as Monty Python would say, now for something completely different. Let's talk about Rahm Emanuel. And by the way, your story was featured yesterday in the tea. Do I have to say it?
Yes.
Spilled by Morning Joe. Yeah.
Why is Morning Joe always spilling the tea?
Yeah.
Why can't I just be serving the tea?
Serving works too, but we took the headline from some of your great Rahm Emanuel moments. Kill, kill, kill. It sounds like Peaky Blinders. And wrapping up a dead fish and sending it to a pollster. I won't even quote what his nameplate said when he was chief of staff in the Obama administration. But a very colorful background for Rahm Emanuel, but also, as somebody close to him told me, he's run the Democratic Party, he's run the White House, he's been ambassador to America's most important ally, he's been mayor of a large city, he's been a member of Congress. I mean, he's got the resume. The question is, does he have a chance in this progressive Democratic Party?
Yeah, that's exactly right. He told me in the course of talking to him for this profile, he said, look, like with many things in life, my biggest strength is also one of my biggest weaknesses. That 30-year career in Democratic politics and that resume that makes him objectively qualified, or as qualified as anyone else in the field, it means he has had such a hand in shaping the modern Democratic Party. He has been a major player in every single victory, defeat, controversy, innovation, scandal. Although, as he will tell you, he has never had to hire a lawyer. He's very proud of that. But it also ties him to 30 years of Democratic politics. That is not all popular with the progressive base, and certain things that were viewed as big accomplishments at the time, like, for instance, NAFTA under Clinton, that he was incredibly instrumental in pushing through, or the 1994 crime bill. 20, 30 years later, the party views them quite differently.
Well, Ashley, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and I think the progressive base of the Democratic Party, I'm thinking about the black voters in South Carolina or in Detroit, or the suburban voters in the suburbs right outside of Detroit, all people that will decide who a Democratic nominee will be. And they're not necessarily thinking about the AI socialists, to Mike Allen's point, but they are thinking about some of these base issues, how they're going to feed their families, what the economic plan is. And I'm wondering how Rahm Emanuel thinks he can or could connect with folks like that.
So what's interesting is the core of his pitch, which you can hear when he's out campaigning for fellow Democrats or on literally any podcast, because he has been on every podcast these past few months, is an incredibly economic pitch. It's that the American dream has become inaccessible, and that's unacceptable. And so the things, when I pushed him on policy, and the things he's written op-eds about, are making first-time home ownership more affordable, and specific proposals for that. It is about reforming and overhauling education, which is something he's very proud of as his mayor of Chicago. That's something that when we talk about how are families doing, if you have children in any capacity, education is sort of one of the most trenchant things. So those are the things he's talking about. Those are the things he genuinely cares about. One of the questions is if he is the right messenger to connect with those people, and that remains to be seen.
Mike, you got a chance to see Rahm Emanuel talk, field questions. I must say, in all the years we've worked together, in 18 years, I haven't heard you come back and be more impressed with a guy who's commanded the room than you were of Rahm Emanuel. Tell me about it.
Well, the reason is this was in Tokyo, actually. He was addressing a group of business people in Tokyo. I was in the audience because I was carrying someone's handbag.
Yeah, your wife, yeah.
I wasn't invited. But anyway, the interesting thing to me is if you talk to Democrats in the House or the Senate, a lot of them will say, the only way we get this back, the White House, is we need someone tough enough to take them on and to really bang them around. Rahm Emanuel that day in Tokyo was among the first, this is months ago, to raise the money being shipped overseas to places like Argentina, stuff like that. He was talking to the Japanese who were in the audience about the fact that they needed to develop a nuclear weapon because they were surrounded by nuclear powers. He was the first to really tell the entire audience, no matter what country they were from in the globe, to really think about their own country, because now, under the Trump administration, you are alone. You are alone.
Right.
That the United States is not going to be there to help you. So he's got this toughness, he's got this ferocity, and Ashley has captured much of it perfectly in her piece in The Atlantic. He's got this toughness, and you wonder, against the progressives, the progressive wing of his party, which
Right.
I would submit they have wonderful thoughts about life, but part of their philosophy has damaged the party itself among working class people.
Right.
Rahm has a solution for that, and it's his voice and his manner and his toughness. And
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes.
We'll see. It's going to be a challenge for him. He can do it, but you know, you've got Simone. What Simone said about how's he going to do with black voters in South Carolina, in Detroit, in some of the early states. You can also say how's he going to do with the really progressive white voters in some of the early states as well that have often, like with Joe Biden, been very tough on moderates. Staff writer for The Atlantic, Ashley Parker, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. Her new profile of Rahm Emanuel is available to read at The Atlantic now. It is a must read.